Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. If you're not subscribed yet, you're missing out. We know that you Aluxers like to aim high, and when there are lofty goals you're chasing after, things don't always go as smoothly as you'd like. You never know when a crisis will strike and stress hits hard, which is why we've decided to put together a list of tips to help you deal with this kind of situation and not let yourself crumble under the pressure. When we talk about stress, it could be short-term stress, like when you've got a report, an assignment, or anything to hand in at 9 o'clock tomorrow and you haven't even started. Or it could be the kind of long-term stress that comes when you've taken on a tough project that keeps you awake at night for weeks, months, or even longer. Whichever it is, we hope that you'll be able to put these tips to good use and get you through whatever crisis or stressful situation you're facing. Number 1. Take slow, deep breaths. When all hell breaks loose and everybody's losing their cool, there's one particular piece of advice that most people give, but it's almost certainly never helped anybody. Saying, "Don't panic," or worse still, shouting it. So, what can we do instead? Actually, there's a fairly simple answer. Replace it with another simple instruction to take slow, deep breaths. And if you're the one panicking, remember to breathe slowly yourself. It works because it allows oxygen to get to your brain, oxygen that your brain needs to think more clearly. It also slows your thoughts down and increases your mental clarity, which is exactly what you need when faced with a crisis. Number 2. Break down your tasks into small steps. So what if you're overwhelmed with an intimidating list of tasks, ones that you need to complete in a hectic few hours or over a daunting period of weeks or months? Well, what makes a huge task seem smaller? Breaking it down into bite-sized parts, each one of which seems more doable. Once you've broken it down, you've got a plan, and this puts you in a far better position, and then maybe it won't even seem like a crisis anymore. Number 3. Reach out to others. This is one of the first rules of dealing with pressure, stress, or a crisis of any kind. Reach out to people. If you have a manager or a team of people who rely on you, tell them you're stressed and you're finding it difficult to cope. If you're off track with tasks, it's better for them to know sooner, not 5 minutes before a deadline. This way, they might be able to help you find a solution, like letting you share the task with someone else or extending the deadline. Also, talk to your partner, family, or friends about it. Even if they can't think of a way to help, talking about it will at least give you some sense of relief. If you're faced with long-term stress and can't deal with it, don't hesitate to contact professional help. Calling a free helpline is often a good starting point. However you do it, if you're suffering from stress, don't go it alone. Reaching out will help. Number 4. Take time to disconnect. Whatever kind of pressure you're under, don't forget to take time out and disconnect from it. Once we've done that, we can come back to whatever's pressing. And when we do, we approach it refreshed and with a more positive mind frame. Besides, after we've disconnected for a while, we may see the problem from a new angle and could have insights that will give us solutions we hadn't seen before. If we're talking about an assignment you have to get for the next morning and are working frantically, this will mean taking short breaks. Just remember to give yourself a strict time limit. And if we're talking about longer-term stress, remember to meet friends, do things you enjoy, have some you time, maybe even try meditation. Doing these things will help you recharge your batteries and come back fresher. Number 5. Remember to communicate. If it's a crisis that affects a whole team, this one's especially important. When things get stressful, everybody can be so preoccupied by their own worries that they forget to really communicate with other people on the team. Make sure you're open and get everybody's feedback on questions like, what problems is this situation causing you? What are you most worried about? How can we help each other and get through this as a team? What expectations do we all have, and how can we make them a reality? Also, when the heat is on, people get angry and uncivil quickly. Don't let this happen. You're in this together and you need to get through it together. When you need to get your head down and focus on a task without being interrupted, don't get irate. Find a polite way of signaling that you're busy. Staying civil. Open to others when possible while respecting others' space and seeing where others are coming from will all help you through the tough time you're going through. Number 6. Accept what you can't change. This is a key principle in life. Whatever the crisis that you're facing, there are probably a whole load of things that you'd like to change. Break them down into a list and then into 2 lists. One of the things you can change and the other the things you can't. And the things you can't change, well, for the time being, you just have to live with them. Worrying about them will lead you to expend time and emotional energy on things that are pointless worrying about. And once you've accepted them, you'll have more time and energy to alter the things you can change. Number 7, stay positive. Sure, this one might sound a little vague, but there's no doubt that a positive mental attitude helps you face stress and deal with a crisis. But if you're not feeling positive, how can you beat it? There are a few techniques you can try. One of them is a daily habit you can get into. At the end of each day, think of 3 things that have happened during that day that you can be grateful for, however big or small. Over time, you'll find that doing this will give you a more positive outlook, more prone to seeing the glass half full, and this will leave you better equipped emotionally for difficult situations when they arise. Number 8, tick off your progress on a to-do list. Once you've got a plan together with a list of to-do points, get to work on them, ticking the points off when you've completed them. This will give you a sense of progress, and once you've got a load of points ticked off, you'll be able to see how you're dealing with the crisis and how you're still making progress. And seeing that progress will motivate you to keep on going. Number 9, remember to exercise. When you're going through a stressful period, it can be easy to skip exercise. The longer hours you're sitting in front of the laptop or whatever it is you have to put the extra hours into might make you think that staying healthy isn't a priority. But remember, it's always a priority. Finding time to work out, to go for a jog or play sports will help you to detach from your worries, and it will trigger endorphins, which help you stay positive, feel better about yourself, and deal with stress. Number 10, eat healthy. Lots of people react to stress by gorging on junk food. And when you're on a tight schedule, ordering a takeaway pizza definitely takes up less time than preparing a well-balanced meal. But investing time in a healthy diet is a lot like the last point. If you don't, you'll soon sink into bad habits and get out of shape. This will affect your self-esteem and make you feel more negative in general. And it will even mean less oxygen pumping to your brain and a reduced capacity to think clearly. Avoid this vicious cycle. Investing time into preparing some quality, healthy food means investing in yourself. Number 11, avoid bad habits. Drowning your stress in alcohol may seem like a great solution for a few hours, but you don't need us to tell you the next morning it'll be obvious that it wasn't such a great idea. Smoking isn't going to help either, and the same applies to excessive caffeine intake. Stay in control of any negative habits. Lose control of them, and you'll lose control of the situation that's stressing you out. Number 12, have an uncluttered, well-organized environment. Just like it's easy to forget to look after your health, it's easy to forget to take care of the space around you. Even when you're busy, take time to make sure your living space and workspaces are well organized. This way, you'll know where everything is. It'll make you feel better, and you'll avoid not being able to find stuff and then waste time looking for it, which will just leave you more stressed out. And whether it's for working, sleeping, or taking a much-needed break, a tidy space will make you feel more positive and relaxed than a cluttered one. Number 13, listen to light music. Anything to lighten the mood can help. You've got a stressful project on and getting down to it just gives you a sense of doom. Make the atmosphere seem more pleasant, and this suddenly won't seem so difficult to get down to. It'll also help you to stay calm. Just keep in mind, stick to music that actually lets you concentrate on what you need to be doing. Soft jazz, classical, or ambient music tends to work well. Drums, bass, and hard rock, not so much. Number 14, stop moaning, or at least put a limit on it. Moaning and getting angry, whether you're expressing your feelings to others or just keeping them to yourself, none of those will help the situation. Sure, it's important to feel your emotions, understand them, but don't let them take over. The one thing that will help is taking action, and the time you spend moaning could be put to far better use. Besides, moaning endlessly can hurt your relationships or make people not want to be around you. But let's be real here. When we're in a difficult situation, we all need to let off some steam. So, if you're stressed, it's fair to allow yourself to do this, but give yourself a time limit. 15 minutes of moaning time per day is a healthy limit. Tell someone about what's annoying you and get it off your chest. And then when 15 minutes is up, stop and get to work solving your problems. Number 15. Don't procrastinate. We're all prone to procrastination, and breaking out of it, well, sometimes is easier said than done. So what's the best solution? Whatever it is you need to do, just start doing it. Writers are given a great tip for when they're faced with writer's block. Get writing and fill up the page. Even if the quality isn't that great, having a whole blank page that needs to be filled can be intimidating. Having a page that you need to go through and edit, that seems a lot more doable. You can apply the same techniques to all kinds of things. If you've got 500 sales calls to make and you're nervous about it, don't sit there thinking about it for hours. Just throw yourself into the task. Once you've started, you'll keep on going. And with that, Aluxers, we're at the end. We hope these tips help you deal with whatever stressful situations you're in now or you'll face in the future. And as always, we really do value your input, so we'd like to know, what do you think are the best tips for dealing with stressful situations? Post your comments below. And of course, as a thank you for staying with us, it's time for your bonus. One more tip for dealing with stressful situations and potentially avoiding them. Learn to say no. This isn't relevant to every crisis or stressful situation, but a lot of the time when people get stressed out with too many tasks or deadlines they can't meet, it's because they took on too much work. If they'd managed to say no in the first place, they could have avoided it. We're not telling you not to take on challenges, not to be ambitious or to settle for being lazy. Far from it. What we're saying is to be aware of what workload you're capable of and what you can commit to. Up to that workload, take on tasks that will bring you money, experience, or whatever benefits come with them. Beyond that limit, be firm in saying no. If you've got a manager giving you tasks, we know this isn't always possible. At least learn to make a convincing case that you've got too much on your plate and can't take on any more. This could really help you. The key is to know where your limits are when it comes to productivity and know how to say no. Thank you for spending some time with us, Aluxers. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos, which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question on our website, Alux.com. Thank you for being an Aluxer, and we'll see you back tomorrow.